Greetings all, Vanna here for the Fire Signs weekly message. I hope you guys had a good weekend and you guys are recovering and staying safe, especially if you were amongst those hit by Hurricane Helene. And even if you weren't hit by this impact, there is a lot of disaster energy kind of going on in this, and I don't say that to scare you in any way, my fire signs, but what this is all for is a fresh start. It was evident in the pre-shuffles cards, like immediately, that there was going to be a shift that is difficult because the strength that you know, especially for the Aries out there, are in this current environment. But when that world falls apart and you step into a fresh new place, you don't know how exactly to react to this situation. You don't know what to expect. The sense of normalcy and stability has been lost. And that is such a jarring emotion to feel that we don't know how to process that a lot of times. And I keep thinking about Inside Out, the first one, when Riley moved from Minnesota to San Francisco, and she needed to have that break. She needed to have that sad embrace to allow herself to feel what she was feeling, because every emotion was important, and that being the point of the entire movie is one reason why it hit everyone so much, because especially for Leos out there, the ones that are taught to be very prideful, strong, and put on that mask, put on that energy, you don't allow yourself to feel all of that emotions. And that is when you risk losing your strength. That is when you risk losing your stability. And then the fear steps in for the Sagittarius and those that are trying to build something new. If you don't allow yourself to grieve what it is you've lost, when this opportunity that you have been asking for comes in, you will be met with fear. You will be met with anxiety, stagnation, and just like, you have Virgo energy coming out for you and the number 5. There is definitely a change going on right here, and it does make you very scared. It does make you feel very naive, but that is not always a negative issue. I believe this is Uranus's planetary symbol as well. No, that's Neptune, because it looks like a trident. Okay, so obviously emotions, water, but I do have to find my paper. Thank you. Ideals and intuition. Absolutely, your intuition is going to be your guiding star right now, your guiding light, with the compass being at the bottom of the deck of the Enchanted Maps. Your intuition is how Spirit is speaking to you. Yeah, you may feel like you are not protected right now because everything is falling apart, but what you need to do is to ground yourself so that you can see, what is it about this situation that needed to be released? What is it about you that is fighting this? And let that go, because you can expand into something so much more. It's like you're root bound when it's taken into the analogy of the fresh start. You have keep going at the bottom of the deck of Damien here. And like a root-bound plant is stuck in its pot for so long that it can begin to die because its roots are just running into itself. It has no more room to grow. It has no more room to expand, no more nutrients in this soil because it's taken everything that it can from it. There's nothing more to be gained from the present situation. And you have already been looking for the out. You have already been looking for the next opportunity. But what the spirit wants and how the ego reacts as two very different things. You have ice and purity in the reverse coming out for you. And going back to that sad embrace of, you cannot just bury how it is. you're feeling right now and just keep pushing through it. You can't just keep pushing through that storm and expect yourself to be okay on the other side of this. I'm going to ask that you give yourself a little kindness and compassion here, my loves. And I know how strange that is, because especially for my fire signs, the ones that are so reactionary, the ones that are the most in their ego besides earth signs, it's always difficult for you to go through this fresh start, to go through this new beginning, because you have to admit that there is something about the previous situation that was not ideal, that was not in the greatest and highest. And then this is where our egos start to fight it, because we think just because something went wrong that we had to blame ourselves, or we had to blame someone else, and carry this bitter hatred for no reason. There is no reason to still be angry at the people who hurt you in school. Yes, it hurt then, but they don't think about you now. You are the only one that is remaining hurt from this situation. The trauma that had been experienced as a child is only affecting you now because you continually give it your power. Say, I am weak in the face of this. I am weak in the face of my aggressor. I am weak in the face of my trauma. I am weak in the face of my fear. You are stating that and giving it to them again and again and again. Forgetting and giving away your strength to something outside of yourself. To something that, frankly, is no longer you. You have music and joy coming out for you. There is going to be a shift. And I know every person has been saying that, and there are people that are just like, there's not going to be a shocking shift. Everything is horrible. It will be if that is what you are looking at. If every song you are hearing about is fuck the world, fuck the government, fuck the people, you are going to continue to feel all of that. If that is the only media you are consuming, if that is the only cup you are drinking from, you will continue to feel that soul-crushing anxiety and just fear-mongering. And now, there is a point and reason to understanding what is going on in the world around us. But it does not need to be an obsession. It does not need to be the focal point of your personality. And there are some people that do that. That take their rage, that take everything that has ever happened to them and make that who they are. And wonder why everything falls apart, no relationship is meaningful, and they will never feel happy. Because they are not listening to what it is that they're actually asking for. When Spirit comes in and brings in these opportunities for change, brings in that movement and removes people from your life, it is not happening to make everything horrible. It's trying to show you what you have been asking for. If you've been asking for a new opportunity and a new life path, and you get passionate about a hobby again, maybe put some more time into that hobby. It could be more than just something that stays in the basement on the table collecting dust that you don't touch 6 months out of the year. Passion is how Spirit speaks to you. What lights you up? What puts that fire in your belly? Why have you let yourself be blown out? You are not blazing. You are not roaring. You're whimpering and barely holding on. A gust of wind could blow you out at this point because you have not allowed yourself to break that dam. Emotions are a very difficult thing to feel, especially for masculine fire signs. But you will never see everything that you could be and everything that you're not if you're still holding on to this identity of this is who I have to be because this is how I have value, because this is how I have meaning. You decide every single day what it means to be uniquely and beautifully you. And you've given it away far too long, my love. Have a beautiful day, my fire signs.